Wow, that was a bloody weekend. A lot of cryptos have bleeded quite heavily. Some are finding a little bit of a support, but it's still too early to call. And some other cryptos have actually dropped below the low they put in back in their bear market mid last year. In this video, I'm going to go through the state of Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm going to give you some coin recommendations that are really tough to find at the moment, but I did find some. But first, let's cover the news, and then we'll go through the coins and do the market update through the charts. So it's no surprise to anyone at this moment. The reason for all of this fear happening is that the American Federal Reserve is going to start increasing their interest rates at the moment. They are going to increase it 3 times this year. People from Reuters believe that this is actually going to go up about 4 times this year, and it's going to go between 0.75% and 1% by the end of 2022, a significant upgrade from the 2 hikes predicted in December survey. We've also got further news that 88% of Americans are worried about inflation. Here's why they're planning to cut back, and this was actually published in November 18th by CNBC. Now you might be saying, who cares about CNBC? They're mainstream. But mainstream news is pretty important to pay attention to because they paint a picture for the overall market. Remember, guys, most people are actually quite triggered, quite emotionally unstable. They can't control their fear and greed. So it's really important to pay attention to these headlines because they can actually tell you what's to come in the future. And obviously right now we have a lot of fear. We also got post-driven depression is driving labor shortage around the world. Pandemic-driven depression, guys. Strong keywords here. And of course, the new variant is causing a lot of labor shortages everywhere. No matter where you are here in Australia, when I go to the grocery store, a lot of the meat I can't buy and things like that. There's a lot of fruits and veggies that are missing still as well. So I'm sure it's like that everywhere around the world. And it's just overall making people more fearful that they can't even go to the grocery shop and buy their groceries. So what are they going to do? They're going to hold on to their money more. They're going to start bulk buying things on the essentials if they have it. Otherwise, they're going to cut back and scale back and build a rainy day fund and continue to build their money. They're going to spend it. We've got Spain releasing new rules for crypto influencer posts. We've got Singapore curbs crypto marketing. More fear into the market. We've got the Biden administration to release executive order on crypto as early as February report. A lot of people believe that the Biden administration or the US government in general will have to adopt cryptocurrency to some sort of state, but they're going to try and regulate it as much as they can. Noticing a theme here? More bad news. More bad news. Bitcoin heads for the worst week in 8 months as traders lament pick-due pattern. And further pointing off the new and further adding fuel to the fire, we've got news from CoinShares, and you can see the Bitcoin and Ethereum are actually getting negative in terms of their flows. So more people are taking them and selling their Bitcoin and Ethereum. No surprise, obviously, and that is dictating a lot of the price action that's happening at the moment. But not all is bad news, people. So I like this quote from the Medium, and one of the people wrote, "Bear markets make people a lot of money. They just don't know it at the time." And this is what it's like in the bear market. Now, I'm not going to say it's officially a bear market, but it has that bearish sort of vibe. We'll cover that more in the charts. But while you're watching this, I'm a small channel, and if you're finding my content, you're still pretty eager. You've got that drive that you still want to invest and still investigate during these uncertain times. And this is where the money is made. You just won't realize these profits until 6 months to 12 months down the road at the very minimum. 10 billion paid in Ethereum fees in 2021. So as much as people want to complain about Ethereum, how slow, how clunky, how the gas fees and things like that, the fact is people use their network, and people are paying a lot of money to use their network. And is why Ethereum continues to be one of the best crypto investments you can make. And we've also got Meta is experimenting with an NFT marketplace on Instagram. So pay attention to what Meta's doing. Obviously, it's pretty clear that they're trying to do the metaverse things, and NFTs are here to stay. But we've got some good news in the horizon, but this is still very early days. But I'm just trying to illustrate that it's not all driven bad news. That's just what's selling at the moment. So the media is selling it. So I did say in my last video on Friday I said that I expected Bitcoin to hover around the 50% mark and the 0.618 mark, which is this area that I've drew along here. All of that I anticipated to be accumulation. So far, we are still in that range. We are bouncing off the 618 mark at the moment at around $35,402. It's okay if it dips below. These aren't hard and fast rules like, oh my God, once you break it, it's all over. There is a bit of leeway, a bit of wiggle room here and there, and we can see that Bitcoin is still around that 0.618 mark. Now, if that breaks, then the next support range is actually the low it put in back on the 21st of July, which was around $29,000. So if that breaks, the lowest I can see Bitcoin going is $29,000. But the good news is that there is a lot of action happening around that mark, and you would anticipate Bitcoin to find some support there, some serious support. So to say we can't break through, anything can happen. There's always new buyers and sellers in the market, all doing their own plan, all having their own emotions, doing their own charts and advisors. We can't predict all of their behavior, of course, but just looking at a chart, we can make a safe assumption that this would highly likely be an area of some support. But I still do expect Bitcoin to hover around this range between the $38,500 mark and the $35,500 mark, give or take a few thousand here and there. But this is the range I'm expecting the smart money to continue to accumulate for a good few months. If we dip below, I expect to find some support around that $29,000 mark. I expect this to happen, like I said, for a few months. There's just no good news coming anytime soon, guys. We need some really good news to really get this market energized, get going, but I just don't see any good news coming for the foreseeable future in the economy. It's all just bad news. And I think it's going to continue for a while, at least 6 months. Could happen earlier, but I'm willing to say at least for the first half of the year, you're not going to see any good news coming to crypto. Now let's have a look at Ethereum. One of my favorite coins. We can see that we have completely broken down from the 50% mark, which is around 3,300 American dollars. And it looks like we are about to test the 0.618 mark at around $2,248. What did I say in all my videos? I said my first favorite mark is the 0.5 mark, the 1 mark is my second, and the 0.618 mark is my third favorite. So on our way to that area for support, and you can see that we actually are starting to make our way to the support area that we've made on the 28th of July. And there was a lot of price activity happening around early July as well, around that price mark. So I do anticipate some support to be there as well, but it does look like we're headed towards that range. What about some coin recommendations? Okay, I want to emphasize before I start this part with, it is a very dangerous time to be buying any crypto at all right now. We have no signs of support yet, just because we have one good day or 2 good days. We need consecutive good days. We need like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of just going sideways before we can feel a momentum shift. And sometimes the market can just dump even further. So I want to take this with a grain of salt. These are just cryptos that are looking strong at the moment. And these are the ones that I would, if I were investing at the moment, these are the ones that I would probably buy or look into further and actually have some buy orders in. So Luna is, again, by far my favorite. I keep talking about Luna and how strong it is. And you can see, again, look how good this 50% tool is right there. You can see, look at Luna, perfectly on the 50% mark for just a quick second before getting bought back up. So you would have had your price trigger at $54.10, and you would have, in this bearish market, you would have actually been up around 15% already. Now, it's not to say Luna can't break down further. It can. If it did bounce, if it did go and test this 50% pool again at $54, I would expect it to bounce up. If it didn't, my next zone for support would be around that $38 mark, or worst case scenario, if we did break that 50% mark, I would anticipate it to be somewhere in the ballpark between $45 and $38, around this area of support, depending on how we go about it. I really can't see it going any lower than $38 though. That would be an absolute steal for Luna, because there's so much Luna being staked at the moment, and this project just has probably the best fundamentals at the moment with the way it's designed. Now, if we have a look at Terra versus Ethereum, so I compare coins to Ethereum. It's just a good way to see the relative strength compared to them, and look at that. It's outperformed Ethereum consistently, going at the all-time high at around 0.00278 and looking mighty strong. And that's another thing you can do during the bull market, is don't just look at it compared to its all-time high in USD value, compare it to the Ethereum value. If Ethereum is doing strong or bad, maybe the alts are doing better than Ethereum, because we all know that Bitcoin and Ethereum typically do well when things are going down. So if an altcoin is outperforming Ethereum or Bitcoin during a downtrend, that is something very special, and that's exactly what Luna is, and that's the best performing coin I have in this entire video. But personally, I still want to grab it cheaper. Next coin up, Phantom. So this is another coin I did a video on, and like Luna, did bounce off its 50% pretty well at $1.81, came back up 15%, now falling down again by 12%. So we'll probably get a test again around that 50% mark. If we did break, I would expect the price range to be somewhere between $1.50 and $1.21, somewhere in this ballpark. You don't have to time the exact bottom with these. You just want to get that nice, good sort of security area where the market won't go against you too hard. But like I said earlier, the market is going sideways, so you can get hit pretty hard, pretty quick. So that's why be careful with your timing with investing at the moment. And then we have Phantom versus Ethereum. So again, putting the all-time high just about 4 days ago on January 16th. And now we're coming down a bit of accumulation seems to be happening around this area here, but we're still a while before our 50% mark. The yellow areas are some areas that I'm looking at as key targets for some support and resistance area. But like I said, with my last coin, Luna, we're just looking for relative strength to Ethereum, because if a coin is outperforming Ethereum doing a downtrend, that can be pretty impactful and shows the sign of a good, strong coin. Always remember, guys, if there's one thing I want you to take from this video, is that the newbie investors, the rookie investors, the retail, the dumb money, they're selling right now. They're scared to death. They are so scared. So you'll find that a lot of the weak coins are struggling. The smart money is holding those good coins. They do not want to get it bad, because they don't want to sell them, because they know it's good for the next leg up in the bull run. So it's something really interesting to look into, is compare your coins to Ethereum and see how they're doing. Because if you go on the USD value, you see they're all about down 15, 20%. But compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin And if they're outperforming that, that's something. Next up, Atom. So this is a coin that has been quite volatile the last few days, going from about 1st of January, since basically the new year. We've tested the all-time high. We keep getting rejected at the all-time high at around $44.50, coming down all the way down. So all the way from the high to where it currently is, about a 31% dip. Not as bad as some other cryptos at the moment. We did get a pretty good day yesterday at around increased 18%, but it's just not enough, and Atom just looks like it's on the way down at the moment. So this is another one that we'll be testing its 50% shortly at $26.35. This would be one I would definitely want to pick up, but I would want to pick it up a little bit cheaper, just because from the mid 50% to the all-time highs about 70%, I think we can do better than that. Areas of support are around that $21.74 mark. And if we broke those levels, $17 would be my next level. And I would absolutely love to scoop up some Atom at around $17.80. And here I've got Cosmos versus Ethereum value on the Kraken exchange. Drew my trend line. You can see it's quite a steep trend line. I think we'll probably break this trend in the coming days. I just don't think Atom's going to be able to hold up, but still relatively strong at the moment compared to Ethereum. But my eyes would be on the downtrend soon to come with Atom. I'd be shocked if it actually starts going up. Next coin up, AVAX. This is a coin that doesn't look the best on a chart at the moment, but this was a coin that did very, very well in the last leg up on the bull run. And what did I say? Second favorite mark is the 1 mark, and you can see we almost bounced off it perfectly here at around $55.82. I do anticipate us to test it again. We are about to test it at the moment. Finding some support at that mark at the moment. Don't know if we'll be able to find it, but my next mark is the $48 mark. After that, it'd be around $32 and $9. I think we all know that AVAX probably won't get to $9, but I am looking to scoop some more AVAX up should we hit these yellow lines. So $48 and $32, about to test the 1 mark, but I want to scoop these up a bit cheaper because, like I said, we've got time. There's no need to buy these now. You've got plenty of time to buy these cryptos. Next up, AVAX versus Ethereum. So this is it. You can see how well it does against Ethereum, still firmly in the white area. So this is why it's good to compare your coins compared to the USD chart, because you saw the USD chart, it was actually bleeding out on USD value, but against Ethereum, it's actually still up in the white area and still holding up pretty strong. So there's the 50% in action at the moment. Look at that, perfectly on the 50%, bounced off it, about to test it again, but I think we'll still outperform Ethereum regardless with AVAX, because it is a strong coin and one that I'm very, very keen to actually scoop more up and seeing what it does in the next leg up in the bull run. I think AVAX and Luna will be the next Solana going into the next bull run, where they'll start really going into the hundreds of dollars. Now we'll start getting a little bit more to the riskier side. This is a little bit more of a risk it for the biscuit. So let's have a look here. This is Rose. I did a video on that one too. And here we are, Rose, a lot of price action happening around its 32-cent mark. We are breaking through, so we're probably not gonna be able to hold it. And you'll notice a lot of that. A lot of these coins are breaking through their 50%. They just can't hold up. That's why if they can actually hold up in their 50% at this time of the bull run, that's very surprising to me and shows really good strength. But Rose, of course, I don't blame it. Breaking down at the moment. My next target is 23 cents, or call it about 24 cents. My next target is about 24 cents, call it. That would be another area, and then another area would be about 15 cents. I'm probably going to back off from this coin a bit more because I just want to get more of the blue chips, but this is something that I'm looking into for later on. If I start to really accumulate large amounts of AVAX, Luna, things like that, this would be in my top 5 that I'd really want to look into, because it was just looking so strong just a few days ago. And then we've got Rose versus Bitcoin. I couldn't find an Ethereum chart, but you can still see it's outperforming Bitcoin in the white area. Probably going to test our 50% again. We'll see if we hold up, but I'm a little bit concerned with Rose in terms of its BTC value. So that's going to do it for this video. I've got a video coming up tomorrow about the top cryptocurrencies to stay away from. There were a few on there, but just remember, guys, I'm always trying to be honest here and just to provide some insight on it. It's just for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's not meant to be taken as financial advice. Stay calm out there. This is where the money is made. But until then, stay safe, everyone, and I will see you on the next video.